in my previous video, I built this numerical calculation in Python, and that's great. What I want to do is to change the code. Okay, so we're going to take the same code and we're just going to change it. And what I want to change is to make it such that it's a 3D model. I want to make a 3D animation. So just as a brief review, I'll just review this just because I have it on the board still. So here's what we're doing, right? We have a ball, we're launching it with some initial velocity. It has a mass, initial position. We want it to go for 0.5 seconds, but that doesn't really matter. And we want to find out where it is later. So what we do in a numerical calculation, we break it into short time intervals, we calculate the net force, we use that to update the momentum, and we use the momentum to update the position, and then we do that again and again and again and again and again until we get done doing it. Okay, and I go through all the details in my previous video. I'll put it down, I'll put a link or something like that. In case, if you can't find it, always let me know. I'll show you. Okay, so but what we want to do now is to make a 3D model. Now, the 3D model is not the physics, but in some cases it really helps us visualize what's going on. So this is a great way to start that. So I'm going to leave the graph there. We're still going to graph it, okay? But I'm going to change some things up. So let's just get started changing things up. I'm gonna just put this stuff down here. I'm going to comment it out. I'm going to leave the mass. So in Web VPython, you can make a block comment with the single quote 3 times, but then you have to end it down here 3 times. Okay, so all that stuff's ignored by the program now. The first thing I'm going to do is to build a ball. Okay, so let's, instead of using R for our position, I'm going to make an actual 3-dimensional object, and we're going to call it ball. You could call it whatever you want. And this ball is a built-in object called a sphere. So I'm just going to write, so remember, all my program has is ball and sphere. All the other stuff is ignored. I'm going to run this, and you'll see the magic of Web VPython because it's going to make a sphere. There's my sphere. Look at that. And I can click and drag and rotate it around. There is lighting. There's a whole bunch of properties you can do with this sphere. I can zoom in and out like that. Now I want to make this thing move in 3D for fun. Okay, so I don't want to, if you don't give it any parameters, it's just like a 1 meter sphere at the origin. But I do want to give it some parameters. So here's the first parameter is POS. POS is the vector location of the ball. Let's just start like we had in the problem as the vector 0, 0, 0. Not the best choice, but we're going to do it anyway. The next thing I want to do is to make, I want to make a smaller ball. So I mean, I'm going 1.5 meters. So let's just say, how big is my ball? Let's say it's like a 5 centimeter radius. I'm just picking something here. Oops. So another property is radius 0.05. It might be too big. That's fine. Okay. We can give other properties such as the color. Color equals color.yellow. You don't have to. I'll leave it as white. I'm going to run it. You'll notice that nothing is different except its color is yellow because the program's going to zoom in to take up as much space as you want, right? It doesn't make it look smaller because it auto zoomed in, and that's fine. We'll leave that later. So that's that. Now I can watch this. Print ball.pos. I can reference the position of the ball with ball.pos. Ball.pos is the position of the ball. So printed it 0, 0, 0. Now here's the magic. What if I move the ball? I can move the ball by saying ball.pos is some new location. Let's just put it at vector 111, 110. Now let's see what happens. So the ball moved, right? And watch this. I can see how it moves if I include a trail. So this is something that you really should do. Make underscore trail equals true, capital T because it's a Boolean variable. I'm going to run it again and see, oops, let's run it again. And there here's where it started, and it made a jump right there, but it left a trail so you can see how it moved, and that is in 3D. So we're making a 3D thing right now, and we're happy. Okay, so we don't need to do that though. But what we do need to do is to make its initial momentum. So I'm going to say this, ball dot p. You can give the ball an attribute. I can say momentum is an attribute of this ball, and I can say what it is equal to, and it's equal to m times the vector 3, 2, 0, just like we did before, right? That's the mass times velocity. Now it has momentum. Okay, now we need the other thing. We need that g. We're going to need that back. I'm going to put that over here. G equals vector 0, negative 9.80, and then t equals 0, dt equals 0.01. That's the same thing we did before. And I'm going to take my while loop, while t is less than 0.5. Okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, we're going to do it, and we're going to make it better. So it's not going to be good to begin with. So the first thing we need to do is calculate the force. I'm just going to do that the same way. F net is going to be, oh, you know what? You could make the mass a property of the ball too, and I didn't do that. I don't know why. I'm just going to leave it the way I have it. You could do ball.m. I said m. The F net is ball as m times g. Now I'm going to update the momentum. Notice here, my momentum is ball.p. So ball.p equals ball.p plus F net times dt. That's basically what we had before, except I just had p. Right now I'm updating the momentum of the ball. Now I'm going to update the position of the ball. Ball.pos, right, that's position, is equal to ball.p. So instead of r, I have ball.pos plus ball.p times dt divided by m. And then finally, I'm going to update time. T equals t plus dt. And if we scroll down here, this is the same thing. Calculate the force, update the momentum, update the position, update time. I didn't plot it. We'll plot later. Okay. So let's just run this. I'm going to run it. Okay, it's not going to work, but we'll run it. Okay. So there's my final position of the ball. It's zoomed out a little bit because and it looks like it didn't move in a path. And that's because Python's like, oh, you want me to do this? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it as fast as I can. But we don't want to go as fast as we can. We want to make it look cool, right? So let's go back up here and add one line up here. So we want to animate this, and we have to tell Python how fast to animate it. So we're going to add one statement called rate 100. So rate tells Python, it says, don't do this loop more than 100 times per second, right? You can do it slower if you're stuck, but don't go faster. And so since I have a time step of 0.01, this will take half a second to run, but it'll make sure it does all the little steps. So just by adding that in there, we can see what happens. There's the motion of the ball. Now, I can actually even make it go slower. I don't have to make it run in real time. Let's go up here and put rate as 50. Now we're only doing 50 loops per second, so it's going to take twice as long to run. Notice that as it's, that's kind of messed up. Let's run it again. Okay, and you're still off a little bit. But notice that as it runs, the camera, the virtual camera, kind of zooms out to see everything. And we can fix that, and we're going to. But we get this nice trail. It's in 3D. It's kind of amazing. It's kind of amazing. Okay. So I'm going to leave it at 50. I'm going to add another object in my calculation. I'm going to add an object called a box. So down here, let's say ground equals an object of type box. So a box is a 3D box. I'm going to make a box to represent my ground. Okay, so I need to give a position. So the position of the box is the center of the box. Let's just put this at, let's just make it easy. Vector, POS. POS equals vector. The x coordinate 0. The y coordinate, I'm going to shift it down a little bit so that the top of the box is at y equals 0. So let's put this at negative 0. I'm trying to think of a number here, 0.1. And then the z direction is 0. Now I need to give it a size. Size is going to be vector. Now remember, my ball goes 1.5 meters. So let's make this 3.5, 0.2, right? Because the center of the box is negative 0.1 down, so the total y value is 0.2. And then the x value, let's put this at 0.7. I don't even know. Let's just leave it like that and run it and see what happens. Look at that. There's is my ground. I might make it a little bit thinner, but I don't really care. And you'll notice that it went into the ground because this is not a real thing, right? It's just a box. You can play around with this and make things a lot better in a lot of different ways, but I just want to show you an introduction to how to do this. Now let's go back and turn on our graph because we do want to plot. So if I want to plot let's plot the position as a function of time, the y position. So I'm going to go back down here, f1.plot t. Now instead of just r.y, I'm going to do ball.pos. That's the vector position .y. That's the y value. Now if I run it, you'll notice also that the graph animates too, right? Because it's only plotting it once every 1/50th of a second, 1/50th of a loop. So there you go. And we're done. We made a 3D animation. There are a lot of things you can do. There are a lot of things you can add onto this, and that's not the best one. But there's this artistic value to it that I think is very useful and can be give you insight into different problems. So we'll do another one of these, but I just want to help you get started on numerical calculations in VPython. But again, you do not have to use Python to do numerical calculations. Paper is a numerical calculation. You could do it in a spreadsheet. Wouldn't recommend that, but you could do it. You could use some other programming language like Java or something like that, but you could do it, okay? And there you go. Introduction to numerical calculations. Talk to you later. Bye.